Good morning, grade 12, and welcome to semester 1, and welcome to the environmental science course. As I told you in the class that this course is an elective course, and we are going to study 3 chapters along semester 1. The first chapter is called Energy and Chemistry of Life. It's going to talk about what is the energy and what are the different forms of energy that we have in the life. And we're going to relate every type of energy to a real life application used in your real life. And chemistry of life is used to talk about proteins or chemical substances that are found inside your body. The second chapter is going to talk about environmental hazards, and hazards mean the waste and toxicology, the toxic products that affect the environment badly. So we are going to talk about the environmental waste and the toxic products. The last chapter is going to talk about evolution of species and ecosystem. So let's start. What we're going to have this week is talking about what's energy and what are the different types of energies that do we have. First of all, what's energy? Think about it. Energy is the ability to do work. It's the ability to do any function in your life. So whenever you have an energy, you have the ability to do any activity or any function. Or whenever the cells in your body is having energy, so it's able to do its daily function. And also whenever anything, even a machine is having energy, this is gonna be reflected on its activity. Okay, so we have 2 main types of energies, the potential energy and the kinetic energies. Potential energy is the stored energy without being consumed. It's the energy that's stored inside something, like when we have a food and it has, of course, it has energy inside it stored. So this is the type of potential energy. And what's the meaning of the other type of energy? It's kinetic. And what's the meaning of kinetic? Kinetic means energy of motion. This means that this type of energy is consumed or in motion state. So we are having 2 main types of energies, potential and kinetic, and you have to know the main difference between them. And also we have a mathematical equation to calculate the kinetic energy of the object, and it's equals to E equals half mv square. What's E first? E stands for kinetic energy and equals to half. M stands for the mass of the object and V stands to the speed or the velocity of the object. So this is how we are going to calculate the kinetic energy of the object. So we have 6 main forms of energy. The first one is mechanical energy. Think about it. Is it mechanical? Is potential or kinetic? Potential or kinetic? Yeah, it's kinetic because it's an energy of motion. You can find this mechanical energy in elevators, in car, in every machine that's having like fan. You give it electric energy and it gives you a kinetic energy of motion. It's moving, okay? So whenever you have something is moving, this is a kinetic, this is a mechanical energy. The second one, it's chemical energy. What's chemical? Chemical, we can find it inside the food. We can find it inside the wood. As we burn the wood, it's going to make combustion. So this is the meaning. This means that it has a chemical energy inside it. It's stored inside it, which means that the chemical is a potential energy. And the fuel that we use it for the car is also a chemical energy. It's storing energy inside it and it's giving it to the machine or to the car. Okay. And electric energy, of course, we have every machine around us or the applicants inside our life is working through the electrical energy. But you have to know that for something to work electrically or to be switched on, the electrons has to flow inside the copper wire. So if the electrons is flowing inside the copper wire, this means you are in the kinetic state, and this means you are switching on the source of the thing. And if you don't switching on, this means that the electrons is not moving, is not flowing. This is a state of potential energy. Okay, so for the matter to say that it's a good conductor or a bad conductor, it has to do what? It has to flow electrons. If it's flowing electrons, it's a good conductor of electricity. If it doesn't flow the electrons or doesn't allow the flow of electrons, this is a bad conductor of electricity. And what about the radiant energy? The radiant energy is the energy that's coming out of the sun, and you know that the energy is coming out of the sun in the form of waves. So we have many waves that's coming out of the sun, and actually we make use of these different ways in different applicants. Like X-ray, we have an instrument that's working through the X-ray and it's diagnosing the bones for any fracture. This is X-ray. And also for the radio waves and also for the microwaves. Okay, so this is the radiant energy that comes from the sun. It came with many waves, and each wave we have for it a specific use. Thermal energy is the energy when you heat something, and when you heat something, this is relates to the vibration of molecules in a substance. So this means you are in a kinetic state also. The last one is the nuclear energy, and the nuclear energy is very important type of energy that's used in nuclear power and so on. We can get this type of energy by splitting the particle atom, the atom of the particle from inside. So please, I want you to read all these types of energies and search on what are the applicants that we are using in our real life by this type of energies. Thank you so much for watching.